Everybody would know it. Everybody took our flag stand forever. And my neighbor came running over. She goes, I'll have some of those too. So yeah. I hope so. It's such a good thing.
Yes, sir. Ben? Oh, Ben here. Ben. Oh, there he is. Yeah. I was looking over here.
See what happens when you sit in the wrong seat? We can't find you.
I think so. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see a lot of signs.
Amber, let me know when you're ready and we'll get going. Thank you. We're all set? Everyone ready?
Of course.
Good. Jake? Okay. It's time to call the Ferrysburg City Council meeting to order for Monday, September 16th, 2024. Amber, could you do roll call, please?
Councilmember Montgomery.
Here.
Councilmember Sias.
Here.
Councilmember Murdoch. Here. Councilmember Kate.
Here.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Here.
Councilmember Sturley.
Here.
Mayor Carlson.
Here. If we could all rise by the invocation by Pastor Ben from the Gateway Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Lord, thank you for tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to serve and to be a blessing to our city. I pray that everything that is said and done tonight will be pleasing to you. God, I pray for wisdom and just your favor to continue to rest on our great city. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor and all. This is time for public comment. This is time on the agenda for any citizen to direct brief comments or questions to the City Council. Time for public comments will be given when the agenda item is discussed. If you have a comment or question, please raise your hand to be recognized. And after being recognized by the mayor, please give your name and address for the record and proceed with your comment and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have any public comments tonight? Seeing none, let's move on to agenda item number 6. Consideration for approval of consent agenda. 6A, approve the August 19th, 2024 City Council minutes, meeting minutes as printed. And 6B, discussion and take action if appropriate to appoint Mary Monroy to the Economic Development Corporation for the City of Ferrysburg for the term ending July 1st, 2025. I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Support. Okay. Any discussion?
Is this for both A and B then?
That's correct.
Okay. Why is that part of the consent agenda? Are those always part of the consent agenda?
The appointment? No, I figured to just put it on the consent agenda.
Okay, just curious. Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
For the record, Mary is a city resident.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none. Clerk Amber?
Councilmember Sias.
Yay.
Councilmember Sturley.
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Good. Moving on to new business 7A. City manager, is that correct that has been scratched?
Yes, it is.
Okay, very good. I'm assuming it'll go on next month's agenda or next meeting agenda or something maybe?
It's not scheduled at this time.
Okay, very good. Moving forward, 7B, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve or not approve a special land use and site plan approval to construct an addition to the Gateway Church on parcel number 70-03-16-178-006, commonly known as 700 Maple Street. If approved, this will amend the Gateway Church special land use and site plan previously approved in 2016. You want to fill us in, Craig?
Sure. So the Gateway Church, they had their site plan approved in 2016. When their site plan was approved, there was just shown on the site plan that there'd be future amenities for that property, a couple more additions, additional parking and so forth. At this time, Gateway Church submitted an application to construct an addition. It's roughly 50 by 50. The Planning Commission held a public hearing at their meeting earlier this month. There were no public comments, and they made a recommendation to City Council to approve the amendment to the site plan. Pastor, you have anything to add?
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
Gateway Church has been a good neighbor and lived up to all their obligations as far as the city's concerned. So therefore, I would make a motion, we approve the second special land use permit for site plan approval for 700316178006, commonly known as 700 Maple.
Support.
Motion and support, any discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd just like to say, I live right in the neighborhood that you're proposing this addition, and I welcome it, and I think the rest of the neighbors do as well. You've been very neighborly and kind, and your members have came out and introduced themselves to the neighborhood, and it's been great having you, and I thank you.
Great with our helping us. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Amber?
Councilmember Sturley,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7C, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve a bid from Michigan Paving and Materials for $46,340 to pave approximately 550 feet of West Spring Lake Road. Craig, you want to fill us in on this?
Sure. Ottawa County Road Commission is paving a portion of Spring Lake, West Spring Lake Road in Spring Lake Township, basically from the city limits to Hemlock Drive. Once we found out who the contractor was, we contacted the Road Commission and asked if we could add on our section in the city of Ferrisburg to have it repaved. They were not open to that, adding something to their contract. So we went directly with the contractor and asked him if he'd be willing to give us a quote to pave a portion of West Spring Lake Road in the city. At first he said no, he wasn't interested. But later on that day he came back and said, yeah, he would give us a quote. So he came back and gave us a quote for the $43,460 and indicated that at that time he needed an answer the next day because he had all his equipment in town and wanted to get moving on it right away. So we go ahead and improve that because we knew we had some money in the budget to do some patchwork on major streets in the city. So we approved it. At that same time, the Spring Lake Township issued a permit to put sanitary sewer and water main crossing along West Spring Lake Road. And so the contractor kind of slowed down a little bit because the road's closed and they don't want to pave and then have it cut open while they do that main work. And so they remilled the city of Ferrisburg. The Public Works did a little work out there to help the contractor out by taking out the catch basins and the storm drains and so forth. And so this is on the agenda for City Council to authenticate that approval that's been given already.
So you already approved the project?
Yes.
Okay. We got to cover your, is that what you're asking us to do?
Yes.
Okay. I would make a motion to approve it.
Any further discussion? Any questions? Seeing none, Clerk Amber?
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt, Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Councilmember Sturley,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to 7D, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve a memorandum of understanding agreement between the City of Ferrisburg, Township of Allendale, Charter Township of Holland County of Ottawa to accept one dual tote trailer with firefighting foam units.
So in 2007, the county got a grant to get a foam trailer. And at that time, there was just one foam trailer purchased, and that's been stored at the Ferrisburg Fire Department all this time. The the city of Ferrisburg has maintained that phone trailer. We have paid insurance on it. And it's only been out a couple times on mutual aid. The county received another grant recently to purchase 3 new phone trailers that have more capacity. They want to put one in Allendale, one in Howard Township, and one in the city of Ferrisburg. So this memorandum of understanding is that just to formalize that the foam trailer would be stored at the Ferrisburg Fire Department. The Ferrisburg would maintain it and pay insurance on it, and when it's needed at another location, someone from Ferrisburg would take it out.
Just like we've had before.
That's correct.
Craig, what are they doing with the previous trailer?
It's been given away to another community.
Oh, it has, okay.
So essentially, nothing's changed. It's just we're getting a new trailer.
It's a newer trailer with more capacity.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Craig, reading through this, it says that it would be stored at Allendale.
No.
Second trailer, oh, okay. Oh, so it's 3 trailers.
Correct, 3 trailers.
Okay, gotcha. Thought there was 1 trailer and we were gonna share it. Okay, thank you.
Certainly entertain a motion on this.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to support, to approve the memorandum of understanding.
Support.
Anyone else have any questions? Seeing none, Amber?
Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember Sias.
Yes.
Councilmember Sturley.
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7E, discussion and to take action if appropriate to approve or not approve the purchase of the solar equipment installed on the city hall roof. Craig, you want to fill us in on this, please?
Yeah. So we have the solar panels on the roof over here on the east wing, and those were installed at no cost to the city. The city entered a lease with the company that installed them, that they would install them and maintain them, and they would get a portion of the savings from any energy savings the city received. In that lease, there was a clause in there that after 6 years, the city has the option to purchase that equipment. And so that 6-year date is October 15th. So this is on the agenda for City Council to consider whether they want to purchase those solar panels or just continue the lease as is. The lease as is, there's no cost to the city. The company that installed them, they maintain them. They must have some program that they come in and can see what's going on and everything else like that. When something's down, they come in and fix it and walk away. So it's been a great asset for the city just to have those and not have any cost really.
And staff's recommendation is to,
Continue the lease as is and
Continue.
not purchase.
Your Honor, at this
Oh,
time.
yes.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay, I'd like to make a motion not to approve the purchase of the solar equipment installed at City Hall roof.
very good. Support on that?
I'll support it. Just for giggles, Craig, what's our cost if we buy them?
That hasn't been determined yet. I've asked the company and they haven't got back to me yet. The savings, the cost of the city saves around $5,500 a year in energy cost, and they get 75% of that. So the city's still saving 25% on our energy cost with those solar panels.
So approving this lease, how much longer does that lease run?
30 years.
It's a 40-year lease, so it'd be 34 more years.
So then they would maintain it for the next 40 years?
Yes, 34 years.
Okay, thank you.
So Craig, we save $5,000 a year, or we save 25% of the $5,000 a year?
25% of that $5,000. They get 75% of the savings. That's how they pay for it or get their money back.
Anyone else have anything? Seeing none. Amber?
Yeah.
Oh, you have more?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can we exercise this option at any time? Or is this a one and done?
One time, I don't know, the lease had just one time and they can purchase it. I'm not sure why the city would ever do that to maintain equipment, especially after it's 6 years old or 15 years old.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Everyone else satisfied? Okay. Amber?
Councilmember DeWitt.
This is to not
Not
approve the
approve.
purchase?
Correct. Not approve the purchase.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Councilmember Sturley,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Mayor Carlson,
Yes.
motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7F, discussion and take action if appropriate to place on the October 7th, 2024 City Council agenda consideration to adopt a proposed resolution regarding leasing a portion of the premises at 17520 Ridge Avenue to Education Station. The resolution will remain on the file with the city clerk for not less than 15 days prior to consideration by the city council, and that a summary of the minutes of the September 16th, 2024 meeting of the city council will be published in the Grand Haven Tribune. Craig, you want to fill us in, please?
Sure. Currently, the daycare has a lease which expires October 31st. They wish to renew that lease for another year with an option to renew for another year. To do that, we have to go through the process that's outlined in the city charter, that they have to have a reading and a resolution for city council to consider. It has to be on file with the city for 15 days before city council can act on it. So in your packet was an extension for the lease to renew for another year with an option to renew for another year. Other terms are the same. The rent, we're proposing a 3% increase, so it'll be a $60 a month increase. The manager or the owner of the daycare has read the extension agreement and has no concerns.
Craig, is this the same group that was looking for upgrades and remodeling the kitchen and everything?
No, that was Pioneer Resources.
Okay, very good. Yes, sir.
Craig, I thought we talked at our last meeting that we're significantly undervalued for commercial rental space.
We were undervalued, and that's why I proposed a 3%. If city council wants to look at something different, we can take it to the daycare.
Yeah, I think we need to be, I'm not saying jump overnight, but I think we need to be closer to what the fair market value is for commercial rental space.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Education Station, is that a nonprofit?
No, it's a for-profit.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Craig, does this in any way affect our liability insurance, having a daycare in the building? Is there any extra cost to the city?
No,
Take care of their own.
they provide a certificate of insurance naming the city as an additional assured. All our tenants do that.
Okay.
Do you have an idea what their square footage is, Craig?
On the back page is a floor plan of the building. They lease everything in green. I would say probably around 3,000 square feet.
What was the low side of that we found last month, Craig, per square foot?
I don't recall, $2 maybe?
It was what?
$2 and change.
We're thinking two.
Yeah, so we're less than half.
I have a question.
Yep.
Clearly, we're under market on some of these leasing deals that we have. Why?
When all these tenants first started coming in, and city council just wanted to get somebody in here to help, just to get some rent money.
Okay. And the majority of them are nonprofits.
The daycare is the only profit.
The
for-profit.
daycare is for profit.
Right.
Pioneer is
Nonprofit.
nonprofit.
Love and Action's nonprofit. Gateway Church is nonprofit.
And that's another reason why.
But this tenant's not.
Correct.
So I was looking, just doing, kind of glancing at some stuff the other day, and the city bought this building for $950,000 back in 2006. Since that time, with all the tenants, we about recouped every penny of that $950,000. There were some interest payments that the city made that I haven't calculated yet, but purchase price of this building's been paid through for by rent.
I just struggle for a for-profit, I'm good with the nonprofits. I struggle with a for-profit company profiting more off our taxpayers.
Do you have a number that's like, can we take back to the daycare?
I would need to know what that average square footage number was.
Okay. I don't recall off the top of my head.
Mr. DeWitt?
Greg, the amount of rent we get currently with all the tenants, does that pay for our utilities at all? My concern is the renter should at least be covering the utilities for the building. Have you calculated that out where?
So Basketball Basics is a profit business too. So with all the tenants, we get about $45,000 in rental income every year.
And does that cover our utilities for the building?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the tenants pay 5% of the utilities and snow plowing.
Okay, so even with them just paying 5% each, we still cover our utilities.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Craig, how long is their current lease?
Expires October 31st.
How long was it?
It was a year, and then with a new for a year.
So is that
Excuse me.
normal? We do 1-year leases?
This new owner, that's what he wished us to do, 1 year. The original daycare was in this building before City Hall was, and there's been 2 or 3 different owners of that daycare business over the times.
I would like to not necessarily raise it to fair market value today, but at least have a tiered approach that says in 3 years or whatever, you're going to reach that fair market value.
Okay.
That's reasonable.
Just to clarify, what is the increase from their last lease to this lease?
3%.
3?
From 2000.
$60 a month.
I don't know. It just feels like that we're kind of soft playing a little bit with some of our tenants, and I'm not trying to like hold their hand to the fire either. But you know, we're supposed to be stewards for taxpayers as well, and we're stewards for this building to a degree. And I don't know what the right answer is, but there's a big difference between what we're offering to lease this space for and between the fair market value. There's probably something in between that's fair for everybody, but I feel like a 3% increase is not just.
Greg, do you remember what we came up with fair market for Pioneer Resources? What that total rent would be?
I think we were just talking, the lowest we saw was about $97 or $2 somewhere in there.
I'm just curious because this is about double the size of what Pioneer Resources.
Yes.
Yes.
Craig, I think Mr. Sterling's right, but would this be an option to increase the rent to $2,060 with the option to extend it $2,500 a month if he extends next year?
Yeah.
We can write that into the lease.
We can do that.
Could I hear that again?
Well, if we rent it this year for $2,060 he wants an option for the second year, the option for the second year would be $2,500 a month. Then he's got plenty of time to make a decision that way, and we're recouping some rent. You know, I'm with Jake. You know, our rent is just depressingly low.
Agreed.
But on the other hand, you know, they do pay. I mean, we're not losing any money because our utilities per Craig is getting paid by the renters. So basically, the city is living rent free. Correct?
Right. Yes.
So is it in our best interest to keep the rent low and keep it occupied, If we raise it too much, they may move up.
Honor, I think that's too high to raise it from 2,060 to 2,500 the next month
But
is
but
too
he's
big
gotta
of
eat-
a jump. I think
The
I
next year.
the next
next
year.
year,
That's what I
yeah.
mean, it's too big. I think what Will was saying, to do it progressive, slowly. Because it's, what value are the rooms when there's no one there?
This is true.
And then you're still paying for heat and air conditioning, and they leave. That's 4 rooms.
Craig, this expires at the end of October.
Yes.
You'd have enough time between now and the next city council meeting to give us an idea as to how far off we're up true market value. And maybe we could make a decision then, whether it comes up to 2,500 for the second year, like Mr. DeWitt's suggesting, or something else.
Your Honor?
You're on.
Yes. Well, go ahead, guys.
The problem with that is we have to post this for 14 days prior to adoption, correct?
15 days.
So
But-
we
Right.
won't have time. Would we have time?
We're not gonna have time to talk about it, bring it back to them, and then come back and vote on it.
Right.
Yes, we will. We can still do that because there's, years back, city council approved a resolution where staff can enter into a short-term lease agreement with the tenant.
Okay.
For 90 days or 9 months or something like that. So
Okay.
we can have a Band-Aid approach until we get the lease approved by city council, if that needs to be.
Would,
Yeah,
would city council be amiable to that
So
with
that's
more
not-
information?
I'm just thinking legally, that's an option that we don't have to rule on it immediately.
Correct.
Okay. That was my only question. I'll do whatever you guys want to do.
I have one other question. Craig, you said a 3% raise from the previous lease. Where did you come up with the 3% number?
I knew I wanted to increase, I didn't know what number to increase it by.
Okay. That wasn't based on like some kind of like numerical formula that's like,
No,
Okay.
I knew inflation was running around 2.5% right now, so that's why I just went 3.
Yeah, I mean, my personal thought would be, we want to maintain it occupied, so keep it 10 to 15% under the fair market value.
or even more than that, but we're not even in that
But
ballpark.
but
right
we
now.
want to raise it at least to that point, right? Even if we're 20% under fair market value, we want to raise it to that number, and maybe we do that over a 3-year period, right? Incrementally over
Yeah.
3.
That's what.
That way, it's not a hit to a business today.
So essentially, would you want them to sign a longer lease then with, that's tiered with increases? Is that what you're kind of suggesting, or?
I don't know that they have to sign a longer lease necessarily, as long as they understand what that, with the,
It would be,
they have the ability to extend right now, and they understand that when you extend, it'll go up another 30%.
so you're just laying out the terms kind of for a longer period of time for them.
What we want to do is give them a number for this year with the number for the option of the second year,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
with the raise in there built
Yep.
in.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Fred, can we do that according to our charter, or don't we have to revisit this?
We'll revisit it, city council will have to approve it.
Okay, so what I'm saying is if we lay out this plan and then the next city council decides to go another way, where's that leave the tenant?
So city council is gonna sign a lease for a year with the option to renew, so the city council can't do anything with that lease for 2 years.
Okay, so that would, okay, just as long as that
There might be a
satisfies the
clause in there
charter.
where either party can give notice within 60 days or 90 days, so.
Okay, all right.
Basically, that'd be a legal contract that the city council, whoever's here, would have to honor. Correct?
I think there's a clause in the full lease that either party can terminate with so many days.
Which is in the contract now, correct?
I can't imagine a city council would kick out a tenant.
Well,
Yeah.
right, but they may decide to raise it 50% rather than what we agreed
Sure.
to 20% or whatever.
Yep.
So that was my concern.
Sure.
You have enough information?
Yep.
To come back to us in a couple weeks then?
Yep.
Okay. Everyone feel comfortable with that?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Agenda item 7G, discussion and take action if appropriate to place on the October 7th, 2024 City Council agenda. Consideration to adopt a proposed resolution regarding leasing a portion of the premises at 17520 Ridge Avenue to Love in Action of the Tri-Cities, which resolution shall remain on file with the city clerk for not less than 15 days prior to consideration by the city council, and that a summary of the minutes of the September 16th, 2024 meeting of the city council be published in the Grand Haven Tribune.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Craig, when we initially did this Love in Action lease, there was a covenant that they would do no appliance repair in our facility. Have they done any?
They do appliance repairs here. They
thought-
fix the refrigerators, washer and dryers, dishwashers.
But they don't actually do the repair on site, or they do?
They do.
Thought that was in their covenant that they could not repair here.
We talked about making sure there was no chemicals in the building or something like that, and they agreed to do that.
So if they're repairing refrigerators, there's chemicals in the building.
There's Freon, but I think they don't use Freon in the building. Nothing hazardous.
Okay.
So this is basically the same outline that was with the daycare, that their lease expires October 31st of 24. And they're interested in renewing it for 2 years with an option to renew for 2 years. And so we looked at that, and it was 3% was $1.50 increase. So we just came up with 10% increase on it to raise up to $55. And then we can look at, if you're interested in raising it more, we can put it in for the second 2-year renewal term. The new dollar amount's going to be this.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Love in Action is a nonprofit.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons we let them in here in the first place, and they kept the rent low. I was not aware that they were actually doing appliance repair in there. As I recall, the original discussion was no on-site repair.
That was part of the reason they wanted this place to do the repairs. They come in and tinker around and get them running, test them, and give them away.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm in error in remembering that. It's been a few years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We shouldn't have any issues if they're, as long as they're not storing Freon on site.
Correct. They do a little bit more than appliance ministry when they're here. Every once in a while, you see a rack of bikes in there that they fix up and give away.
So this is a proposed increase of 10% for them for the
Yes.
next 2 years, with an option for them to renew the lease in 2 years at the same cost?
That's the question. What do you want to put in there for the next 2 years after that?
I would really like, I'm not opposed to this, I guess, first of all, but I would really like to see a standard that we, and by we, like city staff, comes up with for a cost per square foot so that everyone is on the same page. And it can be, you know, our true north is our for-profit tenants are paying, you know, 80% of fair market value, and our, you know, nonprofits are paying 6% of fair market value, or whatever it is, right? But then we have a standard across the board that we're charging our tenants.
I think it's a great idea. It standardizes everything. It takes a lot of the deliberation out of it. We're still able to offer discounted space, essentially, but it takes a lot of the haggling out of it. If we standardize it, then this is what our price is compared to the market. You're still getting a great deal. You want to do it or not?
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to, you know, agree to a 10% increase in rent, but it's easy when you say we charge you 3% of fair market value.
Okay.
Is that something you can get to us by the next meeting again?
I'll try. Yep.
Yeah. That satisfy everyone? Council? Okay, very good. So we don't need to act on this, don't need to,
But we'll put it back on the October 7th agenda.
very good.
Do we have to table it, Craig?
discussions.
Very good. Moving on to agenda item number 8, public comments. Is there any public comments to be had tonight?
I think what you guys were just talking about was very fair. Stewardship is important, and we are the benefactors with GoServe, Gateway GoServe, and we greatly appreciate your generosity. But I just think that it's smart what you guys were talking about. You know, to have a fair market, to be under, and then you know, a percentage of that for nonprofit standardized makes a lot of sense. The other thing is we just appreciate you guys, and just wanted to make you guys let you guys know that we've had a lot of favor, and we're excited about building. Thank you for making that reality. We are raising the funds, so we are probably just so you guys know, we've raised about $130,000, $140,000 of the $600,000 project. And we are going to move at the speed of cash, and we did that on the first one, and so it's been approved, which is wonderful. But we won't be breaking ground, you know, next month or anything like that. So just so you guys are aware. But we appreciate the relationship.
Greg?
Thank you.
Quick question. You approved? They're starting construction,
1 year.
so you know.
It's good to know. That'll motivate our people. That's
Well,
great.
If it's a year and a half, you're starting construction, you gotta come back to it.
Correct. Yeah. Nope. We will take note of that. I did not. That was a good question.
I just wanted you to know.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, just one quick question. The first phase of your church, the congregation and members from other congregations helped build the church. You didn't really hire a contractor. Is this the same plan on the phase 2, or how do you see yourself proceeding?
Yeah, good question. On the first phase, we had a contractor, DL Morris and Company,
Okay.
and he was willing to work with RV Maps, is what it was called, where we had people, retired construction professionals come and help us. We are not considering that for this phase. And it's just a 3,000 square foot addition, a couple classrooms, and then offices that we desperately need. And so that's the plan.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome.
I like it because it's now going to balance the two
It
halves of
will.
the building.
It will. Yes.
And it gets you an office.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
We're excited.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Seeing none. City manager report.
No report?
Very good. Who would like to go first here on city council?
I'll
Mr.
start
DeWitt?
out. Why do we get 7 library reports in one packet?
Yeah.
Explain that to our library rep, would you please?
Yes.
Thank you. The other question I got is I had a citizen of Grand Haven ask me if we're gonna pay for the damage he has had from the speed bumps on North Shore Road. Is the city in any way responsible for that? Reliable?
Sort of.
He didn't specify, he just asked me to ask you.
What was additional speed bumps on North Shore Road?
Apparently, it sounds like he went over too fast and did some
This problem.
front end damage. Is
It's
that,
on-
is
it's
the
on him
city
then.
in any way liable for that?
No, if there's something dangerous out there, you know, if we don't take care of it, then we're responsible for it, but if we're having a speed bump out there, it's sign and everything.
So the answer is no.
Correct.
Okay, that's all I need.
They're installed as designed.
Correct.
And have we had any police reports of any accidents or damage?
No.
Nothing.
He just asked me and I
Yeah.
said I would ask. The other question I got, Craig, is that special ZBA meeting, when is that date?
The 26th of this month, Thursday.
This Thursday?
Not this Thursday, a week from Thursday.
Thank you. That's all I got.
Mr. Kate?
No report.
ROC Commission meeting this Thursday. Sure there's more. Yeah.
Speak up, you have some more. Jake?
Yep. KLH Dunes Preserve Board, quite a bit of news there. Let's see, Eagle Scouts, 2 of the 3 of them have completed their service project by installing new trail markers along a couple trails. There's still 1 Eagle Scout that is going to work on repair of the Hartker Trail stairs. So almost done with those. The shoreline restoration project has been completed. That's done, and so that's been a project that's been a while in the works, and it's now done and over with. Our intern, Chelsea Crum, has completed her stint with KLH Dunes Preserve Board. She did a great job working with our board, and I just wanted to publicly thank her for everything that she did for that board. End of report.
Great. Jerry?
No report.
Beautification Committee met, and we are all solid and ready to go for the Halloween party, which will be from 6 to 8 on October. Anybody that would like to help, always looking for help. And we are decorating at 1 p.m. that day, and we are, again, looking for help. It's a lot of things for all of our little committee to do. And we've solidified the tree lighting, which will be the December 14th, and our the light judgment of the light on houses will be the 12th of December. So we've got it all ready to go.
Did you mention anything about maybe a potential map of the houses that are in the contest?
Yeah, we've talked about it. What do you think, Greg?
We can do that.
Do it?
Just something maybe we could put on social media or something like that,
Okay,
so
put it
people.
on our site.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you're kind of just wandering around. Yeah. Anyway, we're excited.
End of report?
End of report.
Very good. Jake, thank you for bringing up the riprap on KLH Dunes Preserve. That's all natural materials chained together, or however they did it out there.
Yep.
I have not been out there to see that yet. That's good news. Tremendous amount of erosion out there. Craig, is there any update with William Ferry Park with the boardwalk? Is that completed? We're done there?
Kind of. The fence stopped a little shorter than we wanted it to, so we had another 20 or 30 feet of fence on there. And then we had to get the materials and then install that on the north end towards Johnston Boiler. And then some toe stone has to be installed on the water side of the seawall, then it'll be completed.
Great. Very good. Last Monday, the Board of Light and Power and the Grand Haven City Council met in joint session. And City Council of Grand Haven is meeting tonight at 7 o'clock to discuss how they're going to pay for snow melt or not pay for it. It was on the radio today. I don't know who from the city that essentially that they felt that the BLP should pay the money back. So we'll see where this is going to lie with the city of Grand Haven. Okay. Have you heard anything else, Craig, on that?
No, I have not.
Very good. Do have MPO policy meeting Wednesday
Yes.
that I'll be going to. We met last month. There was nothing exciting going on. Smiths Bridge is still moving forward, so everything's going well with that. We had talked about City Hall putting together some I don't know what we're calling it, but the quickie notes as to the highlights of votes that we've taken at city council meetings. Does staff need some direction or help from anyone on city council to make that happen?
If we had a template, it'd make it a lot easier.
Okay.
So we can check with our web tech company and see if they can get us something.
Who do we want to work with at City Hall? Who do we get it to?
Any of
Do
us.
you, any of you?
I can send it, an example of the template.
And that would be an editable template that they could use, okay. Okay, and that's it for me.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Quick thing here. Craig, this thing on Gables, this Amy Woodhome, I thought we settled this months ago.
There's some questions that arose.
well, from what Brooke says, that, she needs to sue the association is way I'm reading this. Is that what Brooks is telling us?
Yep, it's a civil issue.
Okay, so,
We're out of
Okay.
it.
yeah, that's not our fight, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
Good.
Motion to adjourn if everybody's done.
Bet. Thank you.
That guy or something?
Thank you, Christina.
That guy.